to my next video. So I have my seat here, and if you watch my last video, you will have seen that I had some major issues getting the seat on the frame in the right spot, and it actually led to me cutting my rear frame hoop too short because I had the seat too far forward. So there is this rear hinge. There is a hinge on the back of the seat because this used to mount on the back of the frame. Well, since I don't have the back of the frame anymore, I am going to take that rear hinge off, and I'm going to carefully dissect the seat so that I can put holes in this flat spot on the seat pan where I can bolt it down to the frame, because I found out that this flat spot on the seat pan corresponds to a flat spot on the frame where the seat is actually supposed to rest. So I'm gonna try and dissect this, and I hope that it goes okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous. I've never taken apart a seat before, and I don't wanna ruin it. So let's get to work and see what happens. So I've gotten lots and lots of exciting stuff done. So one of the things that I was talking about doing was needing to have a mount to get my seat to attach to the frame. So what I did is I tore down the seat and took the foam off, took the cover off, and now I just have a bare seat pan. And it was in kind of rough shape, so I ground off all the loose rust and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And then I actually, oh, I still have, there we go. I painted this, and so I covered up the ends of my bolts. So I actually drilled holes through the center of the seat pan right here and right here. And those holes correspond, or this flat section corresponds with the flat section in the frame. And so I drilled holes there and I put these bolts through. And then on the top side, where the seat pan will be, or the seat foam will be covering, I just welded those bolts to the seat pan. And it actually worked out great that this bolt was kind of the right length spacer that I needed. And then you can kind of see it here. So I welded a washer to the back of a nut, and so I just thread that on to the end of my threads until it's tight and it won't go anymore. And then this goes on the bike as kind of a spacer. So it goes on the bike, let's see, there's my holes, right through those holes. And then I will put a nut and a washer on the back side so that I'll be able to easily get the seat on and off, but it'll also be secure. And so then some of the other things that I did, I painted this obviously, and then I took my seat foam and I cut it down. So I just kind of started freehand drawing on it, and I drew this shape along here, and then I made a template with a piece of cardstock from my freehand to match the other side to it. So it actually came out really, really good. And then I used where is my knife? So I used this bread knife. My grandma gave me this bread knife, and then she bought me another new one that's just like it. But she makes homemade cinnamon rolls that are the bomb. And not too long ago, she taught me how to make them. And every time that I make cinnamon rolls, I kind of tell her a report on how good they turned out and where they compare to hers, because they're always best when grandma makes them. And so I actually used this bread knife that my grandma gave me to kind of do one big swooping cut on the seat, and I have the other piece over here. So when I cut it, it actually came out as one big, let's see, I'm trying to show you guys here, sorry. So this is the seat initially, and I cut it as one kind of big swoop along here, and I end up with kind of this really nice top piece. So if I wanted to add some more to the back to kind of make a little bit of a hump, I can. I kind of like this flat part though, because my rear hoop is going to be kind of flat and square as well. So I think that I'm actually just going to leave it the way it is. It came out really, really good, I think. I also took the grinder with a flap disc on it after I cut it and just ran over the top surface here real easy to kind of smooth everything out. And in some spots it kind of cauterized the foam a little bit. There's like, in a few places over here, there's still kind of some loose foam that's coming off. I made a giant mess, but that's okay. And so I may try and heat this up and cauterize it a little bit more, but it's gonna smell terrible. So we'll see about that. So next steps, I'm gonna put the foam back onto the bike, or back onto the seat pan. And my mom is actually going to try and make a new seat cover for this. So I'm gonna take this over to her house on Friday, next Friday, and see if she can sew a seat cover. In her retirement, she's been sewing all kinds of crazy things. She does aprons, purses. She made some seat covers for her Jeep that actually look pretty good. So before I take it to an upholsterer, I'm gonna see if she can do something for me, because if she does it, I just pay for materials. The labor is free, and then it's kind of this cool, like, hey, my mom made the seat cover. So we're gonna try that. If it doesn't work, then I'll take it to an upholsterer. But kind of my next step is to use some adhesive. And basically, I'm just gonna spray adhesive on the back side of the foam here and reattach it to the seat pan, and then it will be all ready to go to have a seat cover put on it. So that kind of wraps up my seat work. I'll have a full upholstered seat back and ready within a couple of weeks, and the bike will kind of start to look a little bit more complete. I also kind of touched on the rear hoop is going to be kind of square. So one of my former videos or previous videos, I tried to fab up my own seat or own rear hoop with an old luggage rack, and I didn't do a very good job at it. So I was talking to one of my friends who has a tubing bender, and he was like, oh, I can make something like that for you. And he's really excited about this whole project. And so he is actually working on bending the rear hoop right now, which is really exciting. And then tonight I was kind of measuring some other brackets alongside doing this seat work. I was kind of procrastinating cutting down the foam because I was very worried about how it was going to turn out. So in between waiting for the paint to dry on the seat pan and procrastinating cutting the foam, I measured some cables. I made some little templates for brackets that need to be made out of cardstock as well, and I was kind of playing around with those. And so I'm gonna, once he has that rear hoop for me, I'm gonna ask him if he can cut some of these metal brackets for me too. One of them is a bracket to hold the tachometer onto the top triple clamp, and then I'm gonna have some really simple brackets to weld onto the frame for foot pegs. And so probably just something kind of oval shaped. We can weld it directly to the frame rail and put multiple holes in it to change foot peg location if I want to. And then there's a bracket that I need to weld to the front of the frame for a steering dampener. So I'm really, really excited with how this seat came out. I'm making pretty good progress, and I'm just gonna keep plugging away. I've got a whole bunch of parts to order now, and within the next couple of weeks, I think that I'll be ready to get this frame to a powder coater. So that's pretty exciting. So again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos, and stay tuned for the next one. They're gonna keep getting more and more exciting as we go.